I recently had um, a sense memory that is construction going on across the street. Um, it was a memory of a sensation in my body that was the sensation again. And it was this feeling of density, like right below my rib cage, that became like denser, more compact, heavier as it sank down into my belly. And it was super familiar. I haven't felt it in a little while that I can recall, but I felt really familiar, like something like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. And the sensation gave rise to this like thought slash emotion of like I've got to take care of things. I've got to do the things that are on my to-do list. Or I've got to internally check that in that to-do list. And in checking it, have this hope that enough is done. Or if not, then not much more needs to be done. For what is like, it was just really less important. It was just this urge. It was this urge to check, this urge to ensure, this urge to be on top of all that needs to be done. It's pretty hard to explain, like, but I mean, it's just this whole like sensation into vague, almost nonverbal thought that was just this urge to do, to take care of, to square away, get ahead of. And I remember this whole phenomenon, this whole thing that would churn inside of me would be especially active on a Sunday evening. And that's actually when I had this sense memory. It was on a Sunday evening. It's like back for old time's sake. And it was really notable because it just hasn't really been a part of my life for a while. And I realized that was like a big important part of how I would orient myself in life, was sort of like this feeling slash emotion coming up and basically like pointing away forward, pointing away through life. And I remember it also carried with it almost like a goal of a sense of like there might be a time out there ahead of time in the future where I could have all of this squared away. Like I could have everything taken care of finally. And at that point, everything would be essentially okay, finally. If I could just wipe everything off of my to-do list, then I could relax. If I could take care of every task, it would be okay to sit and breathe. And it was just it's a total racket. It's a complete and total racket. Because, like, no matter what I would do, no matter how much of that list I would accomplish, no matter how many items would be checked off mentally, there's always this backfilling process to add more things to it. A new problem would emerge that needed to be solved. The next thing that needed to be done, like absolutely needed to be done, would emerge right on the verge of clearing off my list. It was a treadmill that felt like each day it would tick up just a little bit more. And I'd have to run faster the next day. And it always felt legitimately like it was just around the corner, or just, it was soon I'll be able to take a break. Soon I will have reached the destination. Soon the last task will be completed. Soon. Just got to do these last few things. And it's so amazing how all of that was constructed out of thought stuff. Just some sensation in my body reinterpreted into an emotion of something like panic or urgency or anxiety, which then would give rise to some thought looking back at it and seeing it as a problem, identifying it as a problem, adding that to the list of things that need to be solved. Another thought looking at that and kind of giving this little sense of excitement that I've come up with a solution to that problem that just emerged. Situating that solution in time so that it's like, oh yeah, it's just around the corner, right up there in the future. We're gonna be able to get to that, no problem. And then another thought looking at that and saying, why do you think that? Like, look at this list. Look how much stuff we do have. We already have all the stuff we have to do. And another thought would be like, oh yeah, it's probably just because we need to work on our time management. We can just find a better way to do time management. And we'll be able to do all of these plus that one we just added. It won't be a big deal, but like, this is just highlighting again that we have this problem of not having good time management. And then another thought would pop in and be like, oh, that's God. Yeah, I am horrible at time management. And then that giving rise to some emotion of like shame or panic or both. And another thought swooping in and just being like, yeah, we'll get a book. We'll buy book about this, or we'll look up time management strategies. It's another solution, which feels kind of good, but of course doesn't erase the problem. The problem's still there, and so on and so on and so on. It's just a complete racket. It's a total racket. You don't ever get ahead. You don't reach a finish line, which is like obvious now. And I also used to get I used to get the sense of this. That like, I don't ever seem to get ahead. Why does it? And then that's where the thoughts of like comparison to others would come in. And it's like, well, that's just because you don't have it figured out, whereas everyone else does. I mean, look how happy everyone else is. Every time you talk to somebody, they got all these amazing things going on. They got these vacations that they are going on or returning from. They got these extracurricular activities, and they got sports leagues that they're succeeding in. They've got these friend groups. Everybody seems to be hanging out and having this wonderful time, having crossed everything off of their lists. Which should just bounce me right back into the racket again. Identify the next problem. Come up with the next solution. Feel a little bit better. And that whole time, in all of that mental activity, here I am just immersed in actual life. And I just didn't notice it. That whole time, birds are singing. Throughout all of that, there's the feel of the air on my skin, the pressure of the ground beneath my feet. The movement of sensations through my body. The taste of coffee in the morning. The smell of flowers blooming on the trees. The dance of a spider web in the sunlight. The sensation of a breath. The ripple of a thought in consciousness. A bird flying through. The sound of very distant traffic. Another couple thoughts fluttering through. An image of some time from my past. The brilliance of the blue sky through the tree branches. feel of another breath. Just all of this that exists in this present moment. Was just there. The visual field, the sound field, sensations from touch, smell, taste, a thought stream. And my awareness caught up in the future. And my awareness not here. Instead, analyzing some problem from the past that has some solution in the future. Continually creating this illusion that I'm making one choice after the next to move towards a future in which things are better, problems are solved, all the while just completely filtering out every single time when it didn't work out. Like every single one of my plans that I made that didn't actually look anything like what happened, just filter those out, sweep those under the rug. Meanwhile, some emotion was passing through my body, unnoticed, unfelt. And all of this was happening while I'm trying to cross the next item off the list. It felt utterly stifling at times, just so hemmed in, so narrow. And I remember catching glimpses of all of this and thinking like, and then having it just all caught up into the whole racket. Just like, oh yeah, in the future I'll take a vacation. Like in the Rocky Mountains in the spring, or California in the winter, the Caribbean, some tropical island, see all of this and I'll finally be able to enjoy it. It's wild. It's a wild way to exist. And it's completely normal. Everyone's doing it, actually. There are huge rewards for doing it really well. There's a weird crackling beauty, just stunning beauty in the present moment. And it's also got this real sense, this like paradoxical sense of like Of course. Of course. Of course. I mean, yeah. There's a stillness and peace that to the mind, to the thinking body, it's just kind of mundane. There's not much to it. I mean, it really is almost characterized by the absolute lack of anything to do. The breeze I feel on my face right now, I didn't cause it. I didn't choose to feel it. This visual field is just appearance. I didn't create it. I don't sit here turning a wheel of thought that makes the sky blue or that tree over there bloom. That robin on the lawn over there, I didn't do that. And I can't really do much about that. Yes, I could walk over there and it would fly away, but there's what predictability is there beyond that? And also, I'm still sitting here right now. So, like, there's this almost, I mean, especially to the mind, there's just this complete unremarkableness about this that allows it to go overlooked in comparison to that sensation arising in my chest and dropping to my belly. That feels exciting. That's so enticing. It's so motivating somehow. And it's just, it's all just generated in my specific experience of consciousness. It's amazing how much more urgent and like real it can feel. It certainly did feel. And it's nice, I think. I mean, it's nice that it's just less and less satisfying to be caught up in anything like it, anything thought-based. Spend less time in my imagination, a lot less time daydreaming. Just, I want to spend more of my life in this. In the here and now. In this present moment. In this mundane, explosive beauty. This ever-changing, totally unpredictable, wonderfully peaceful, totally messy, whatever all this is. And it's always available. You don't need to schedule it. You don't need to work yourself towards it. You don't need to plan for it. can always just drop in. One breath, one step, one bodily sensation, one taste, one movement in your visual field. Even noticing a thought and another, and then bird, spiderweb, airplane, balloonist, it's the only thing that obliterates the list. It dissolves the illusion of the next thing to do. Be here now.